Hollywood, baby.
Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Nipsey Hussle generated 15.2 billion streaming spins over the past year in the U.S., up 38.5% from the prior 12 months. That sort of consumption offers the departed a second career from beyond the grave.
Is it true that you submitted a list of directors that you would work with? We only know the rumors we hear, you know.
I would rather say that I have director approval, and that is true.
This you think is important?
Yes, it is. Very important to me.
Well, you're a happy girl now. When you go to London?
When we're really young, our dreams are colorful and big and abstract and interesting and imaginative. As the realities of life hit, our dreams become so common. To dream big doesn't necessarily mean to imagine becoming the biggest movie star in the world. Dreaming big is about taking the simplest thing in life and enjoying it and seeing it as the biggest thing that can possibly exist. I work in an industry that is the first to kill this ability because everything is so celebrity-oriented. I am part of a cancer. In my world, you have to be so beautiful, so skinny, so rich, so famous, and I don't believe you really have to be any of those things. You simply have to be who you are.
Getting to it, because up to now it seems to me you've been saying that you're actually drawing kids as kids, but you're doing more than this.
Well, I hope so. Mainly, the thing is to try to be funny every morning or every evening, according to whichever paper runs the strip. But there has to be some sort of a message. Anybody that says they can do humor without a message is doing awfully weak humor. This is a sore point with a lot of cartoonists and a lot of editors. Some people would like to have you do humor that does not carry too much of a message for fear of offending somebody. But humor without a message, as I say, is very weak humor. So the message here is the message of the insecurity of all of us and the trials that we all have and this sort of thing.
Let me ask you a question. Did you guys always write your own stuff? I mean, from the beginning?
Yeah, well, John and Paul wrote right from before we ever made
How did you ever manage that?
I don't know. They were clever little fellas. But we did record, the first 2 albums, we recorded about half of the albums were other people's songs. Like, we did a lot of cover versions of, like, we did Twist and Shout, the Isley Brothers.
Matchbox.
Matchbox. We did all kinds of, and some more obscure tunes. Well, we did Money too, like the...
Dizzy Miss Lizzie?
Yeah, sure. We did a lot of other people's songs in the early days.
A lot of pop people go through a hell of a lot, Just say in 1 year they see so much and they go through so many different things that they either just want to get high. I mean, basically it starts with people who just want to get high, like people drink. I mean, that's a big problem. People have a drink, like I suppose after the show, maybe you have a drink just to get a little high. So musicians, either drink a little bit or maybe they smoke a bit, and then they want to get a bit high, and they're sort of really looking for something. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with all those Bessie Smiths and all those people, because the world is such a hard place to try and make it in.
There are some people who believe that having always been on stage, you've never had to deal with the real world.
Yeah, that's true in one way. That's true in one way, but it's hard to in my position. I try to sometimes, and but people won't deal with me in that way because they see me differently. They won't talk to me like they will the next door neighbor.
You've always been Michael Jackson on stage.
Yes, yeah, that's true. It's a hard situation. It is, and it's something I have to put up with.
It must be hard to have real friends.
Yes.
I knew he was on painkillers at one time. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how far and how deep it was. Mm-hmm. I just remember doing the anniversary special, 30th anniversary. And I remember looking at Michael. I remember looking at myself.
That's when you were so bone thin, you were frail.
I was getting scared.
Looking at him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I could see myself, I was looking at myself going, no, I don't want this to be like this. This can't happen, not both of us, but Mike.
Mm-hmm. From what I have observed, not only from my own family, but from all of the people we know, and especially from people that have written to us, there's hardly a family alive that does not have some child in it who has a blanket. And Linus, of course, represents this. He also represents more than this because he represents the adults trying to get rid of certain bad habits and the tremendous troubles that they have trying to get rid of some of the things that they don't want to do.
Rastafarianism is very popular in Jamaica, yet in Canada and the United States it has a bad reputation. People are associated with drugs and the trafficking of marijuana and violence, police arrest.
Yeah, man, them crucified Christ, remember? Christ was a Christian and them crucified Christ. Him is not what
no,
it is.
But let's go back to the facts. People have been arrested, and the Rastafarians in Toronto, for example, have a very bad reputation.
I wouldn't say that the Rastafarians have a bad reputation. I would say people give the Rastafarians a bad reputation because the Rastafarians, all of these things happening before the Rastafarians even start coming to Canada anywhere around here.
But the things that are very obvious are things like the way you look, right? To most people who are very conservative in dress, you look quite strange. plus the fact that you advocate smoking marijuana.
Yeah, yes, I'll show you this now. Could they tell God that it's not legal?
No, but
they couldn't tell God that it's
you
not
have a
legal.
very strong religious belief, but other people don't necessarily share that, and what they see are the obvious things. And isn't it in fact true that many Jamaican people get involved in the trafficking of marijuana and therefore get the bad reputation associated with Rastafarians?
People get trafficking. You see, I don't really know anything about those parts of life, you know. All I know about is Rastafari, you know, and try bringing this truth to the people. What the people do with them life, I don't really know about that. I know about my own.
Okay, what is your own? What's your music to you?
The music to me, the music is more than music to me. It go further than music, you know. It go with I don't know, it further than music.
But you used it as a strong message. I mean, words like a hungry man is an angry man.
The music used me.
It's obvious that there's an agenda against the disenfranchised and the uneducated. So ultimately, I think to counter that, we're going to have to talk to one another. One of the ways we used to do that was through our music. I grew up with the Staple Singers and Curtis Mayfield, and Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, stuff like that. And that particular sound, you know, that sound of the people, to voice our concerns in those areas is gone now. I think that we should address this as a community as to what it's doing to the culture. People can say all they want to, that there's no reason for these kids to listen to music and then go shoot somebody. But, you know, there's something that's triggering these buttons. You know, I'm talking about just plain disintegration, where you're not even speaking the truth anymore, you know, and the violent imagery that's permeated the society and our music now.
Let's make it not cool to be stupid. Let's make it cool to be a good person. I'm tired of it being cool to be a fucking murderer or a shooter or just this irrelevant being. Like, that shit is stupid. Like, the sooner we understand that we need each other, which is the truth, bro, because I wouldn't be who the fuck I was now if I didn't have anyone. Truly. If I didn't have the support from you guys and I didn't have the people that truly believed in me, I would be nothing. And I'm aware of that. And I've gone through my fair share of destruction and pain in the process to get where I've gotten, and I know that anything is possible. And I really just want, at least, if all right, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams, I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive, and to at least have a good life. I at least, if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
So look, whatever the case is, homie, it's a right way to do shit, it's a wrong way to do it. You don't jump out on me. This nigga's getting killed out here. Don't jump out on me, homie.
Okay.
You understand that?
Okay.
All right. So next time you do that, make sure your doors ain't unlocked. Make sure your phone ain't slipping. And you lucky I wasn't on no bullshit today, because I would have tested your jaw. Trust me.
All right.
You feel me? Quote me on that. Neighborhood victory lap on the way.
Okay.
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 You see, having gone through the Beatlemania thing, nowadays it's nothing like that. I mean, I can walk down the street and somebody will say, "Oh, hi, John," and they usually say, "How's your immigration?" You know, if it's in New York, right? And they don't hassle me. I might sign 1 autograph, 2 autographs, you know? And I don't get hassled. And I went through that period where I actually couldn't go anywhere. And so now it's like heaven. I can go and eat. We go and eat. We go to the movies. We go wherever we want. Parents, and they were against rock and roll, you know? Anyway, before the Beatles came along. I mean, people have been trying to stamp out rock and roll since it started.
Why do you think that is? What are they afraid of?
I always thought it was because it came from black music. And the words had a lot of double entendre in the early days. And it was sort of, you know, the white kids, our white, nice wasps are gonna go crazy with all this moving their bodies. You know, and the music got to your body. And the Beatles just carried it a bit further, made it a little more white even than Elvis did.
Man, I was tame compared to what they do now. Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. We just jiggle, you know. Oh, I don't know. I really can't criticize anybody. You know, in the entertainment field, I think there's room for everybody, and I hate to criticize another performer. Well, the image is one thing, and a human being is another, you know. So.
How close does it come? How close does the image come to the man?
It's very hard to live up to an image. I'll put it that way.
It says that your what you call that, your writing name is Dr. Seuss. Why did you pick that particular name? Any particular reason?
It's a complete phony. That's my middle name, and I put the doctor in front of it.
Oh, Seuss is your middle name.
As you wanted to grow, do you feel you've grown?
Well, I hardly know how to answer that since they misinterpret that, meaning
I'm not
in inches or something.
I'm not talking about Well, Marilyn, speaking of measurements, are they still the same as when you left? Have you gained weight? Have you lost weight?
I think I'm about the same.
About the same.
Yes.
Nobody has any complaints.
I don't know.
Speak up, boys. You're wearing a high-neck dress now. The last time I saw you were wearing. Is this a new Marilyn, a new style?
No, I'm the same person, but it's a different suit.
It's not that I object to doing musicals or comedies. In fact, I rather enjoy it. But I would like to do also dramatic parts too.
I think Charlie Brown is just a little bit of what all of us have inside of us. Mainly me. Mainly I'm Charlie Brown.
You really think that?
Oh, undoubtedly. If you draw about people that win all of the time, you are drawing only about the minority. Most of us lose, you know. Most of us have ambitions. We like to win golf trophies or tennis trophies or things like this, but most of us never win them.
Which I'm going to play some, and the major reason that I'm doing that is for two. One, I enjoy it, and two, the fans seem to still enjoy seeing me play, and as long as that...
Go Arnie! Go Arnie!
And as long as that's the case, I guess they're going to have to put up with me for a little while, and then one day I'll just fade into the sunset like everything else.
The top earning dead celebrities of 2019.
We are gathered here today.
Rain
think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
You are now listening to Good Grief, a scene mixed by the C3Studios.com.
Where did you get this? That's, I think, the Tournament of Champions. And that was the Tournament Queen.
Somebody once told him that he wouldn't take Prince to the ringer, let him go down as a washed-up singer. Ain't that a bitch? Thinking all along that he wanted to be rich. Never respected the root of all evil, and he still don't to this day. Bury him face down, let the motherfucker kiss her ass, okay? Face down. Step like Elvis. Face down. Step like Elvis. Told him he wanted to sing a song about a black child going buck wild, and they just laughed in his face. Talk to your lawyer, but you got no case. What you need to do is keep your place. Next time you pull a card, it better be an ace, motherfucker. You can lay face down. 1, 2. Step like Elvis. Face down. 1, 2. Step like Elvis.
Thank you very much.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright, little darling. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright, little darling. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright, little darling. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. It's bright.
But I guess Johnny Brown is mostly mean. That's why he often has that dumb expression on his face.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a feeling, let go. You decide if you ever come, let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad and know ya, I'm sad and know ya. That's a feeling, let go. You decide if you ever come, let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad and know ya, I'm sad and know ya. Da 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 da. Don't be, don't be judging it. Don't you get back it 'cause I'm lonely.
I can feel the excitement like I can sense an indictment. Swear I hope that I'm wrong, but just in case I'm on my tip. Forever on on some fly shit. However, illogic. Spend a regular nigga monthly income on my outfit. See, I was front they house with rocks inside of my mouth. When jealous niggas that hate me had they feet up on the couch. And then we made it out. And now we standing here. Hope niggas don't think this type of shit gon' magically appear. If so, I got some news for you. They say life's a bitch and should sing the blues to you. Pay attention to hustle, I got the rules for you. Made my way through the maze and I left some clues for you. Now it's up to you, are you gone? Take heed and get paid and scream all money in until your dying day. Say fuck the middleman, get on your grind and save. Or are you more the type to have your mind enslaved? They telling me they believe and I got style for days. And when I do drop an album, they'll be proud to pay. Still out here on this mission and I'm miles away. Somehow I feel like recently I found my way. Yeah, it ain't no feeling I can rival those. And you can pop a molly, you can sniff a pound of coke. You can make 100 million, fuck 1,000 hoes. But when it's all over, all that count is how the story's told.
Sun, gather and feel alright. As it was in the beginning, one love, so shall it be in the end. Alright, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing.
Peculiar, Charlie Brown, how some traditions just slowly fade away.
Happy New Year, Charles.
Hamlet. Jag har jag. Jag ställer mig nå. Har omställt mig. Smart mig. Har sen det. Jag snämmer. Jag snämmer. Så är mig. Så känner jag mig. Hej femmor. Snämmer verkligen. Snämmer har nämnt. Sheriff Serpent. Slide out. Sheriff Serpent. Harusnya Bibi Harus you Harus sedih namanya Harus segera